Today we finally get to do some music stuff, so that's gonna be sweet. Music day on the stream. Let's get into it. So right now I am just chilling in Reaper right now, which is the DAW that I usually use because it's free, so that's nice. I would definitely check it out if you don't want to pay for something like Ableton. Reaper's great and super modifiable, and you can really make it yours. But let's jump into what I got so far. Yesterday, I was just checking out some different ways of rebuilding my instrumentals mix, and so we're gonna mess with that today. And yesterday, I also came up with a little riff basically to kind of get me started and get like a base point on something to build the mix off of. So let's run through basically the main riff here that we got. And yeah, let's check it out. So yeah, that's what we got so far. So I think I want to mess with the drums a bit more because they're pretty basic. I think there's a lot more we can do to make it a little more interesting, especially with just that first little breakdown thing. And I'm not even sure if I want the song to start off with this, so we might try to develop a different intro too. And in between all that, we're just gonna mess with the mix a bit and change some things. I think it's okay right now. It's pretty beefy, which I like, but I think it definitely could be better. And I'm still learning this stuff. I've been playing music for a long time, but production is pretty new to me still. So I'm really doing everything by ear and just messing around and finding out what I like and what I don't, and what works and what doesn't. So we're gonna do that together. I think the best thing to do is just to start off with my layout here. I got a master bus, which everything falls into since we're just messing with instrumentals. And inside the instrumentals bus, we got the guitar bus, which holds all the guitar tracks. We got a bass bus with bass and a sub bass track. We got a drum MIDI with all the little pieces of the drums. And then the other bus, as you say, is just kind of where I put all of the little extra like synth parts, little stuff like that, just to kind of separate it out from everything else. And yeah, maybe we'll create a different bus for things like impacts and risers and stuff, but we don't have any of that in there right now anyway, so we can worry about that when we get there, if we get there on the stream. So let's go and check out some of the tones so far. So we'll just play everything kind of soloed and let you hear each thing separately. So let's just do guitars first, and we can look at the rack here for our effects that we have going. So I have a multiband compressor starting us out. Sorry about that. On top of another compressor here. And then we go to the Fab Filter Pro Q, where I'm just doing a bit of dip on the bass just to give the bass guitar and the kick a little more room. And doing a little adjustments here just in the mid and highs, and seeing what sounds good and what doesn't, trying to take out any little thing that really doesn't work for what I'm trying to get. So, oh, one more thing. Tailless Guitars, I love this plugin. This plugin's great. It just has really nice guitar kind of tweaks that you can make. The deharsh is awesome. It really like takes out that kind of like fuzziness when you're dealing with like really high distortion guitars, and yeah, it's great. So I recommend checking that out. So yeah, that's just the bus, and we're writing everything in MIDI right now. I feel it's best just to write in MIDI, so I have just a lot more control. I don't have to worry about retuning and putting on new strings and just doing all that shit, and we can just like really focus on writing. So yeah, MIDI is great when you're just writing stuff out and putting ideas down. And so for our guitars, we're using Axer for the MIDI guitar, which is amazing. I feel like it's one of the best ones that I've tried so far. It has like just really good tonality to it, if that's the right word to use. I don't even know. And then I use this IRDX plugin, which is really good for the IR. It kind of like separates things a little bit, puts a little more, I don't know if it'd be maybe saturation into the IR, and it feels a little more natural to me when I pop this in. The next, for my actual like amp and everything, I'm using Gojira, which from Neural DSP is awesome. I love it. It's kind of a go-to standard from what I've seen other people using, and I kind of got my own little settings here. I kind of based the sound off of what's the band? Let me check here. Let me check. It is The Archaic Epidemic. If you haven't heard of them, I love them. The guitar tone is really nice. So I kind of just like by ear went back and forth to see if I could kind of get something decently close, and I landed on something that I like. Let me just do a little bit of shaping for the specific guitars and putting a clip on it just so we can get to a nice ceiling that we want when we're not like clipping out. So let's listen to these by themselves. Just go ahead and start it here. So yeah, those sound great, I think, so far. I think we could definitely make it better, but looking good so far, I think. And then we got bass, simple stuff. I'm not going to go through every little FX preset, plugin preset that I got going on right now that I've created, because it'd just be too much, I think, especially for this initial stream on the music production side. But I at least want to let you guys hear what it sounds like by itself. So let's just look at what the bass sounds like. So it's like pretty gritty, and it goes really good with the guitar. It kind of like melds everything together. I love it. And then there's like a sub bass underneath just to add a little more like oomph to it. So yeah, those are awesome. And then yeah, of course, drums. Drums I'm still working on. I haven't really found exactly the sound that I'm looking for yet with the drums, but and like I said, like right now the drums are pretty simple. Not much going on, but like I feel like that kick is kind of nice. It's really meaty. And the snare's not too bad. I would like a little more like pop to it, but so far okay. So let's actually start having some fun and mess with the drums first. Just go ahead and open up our MIDI here. Make this a bit bigger for everyone. And so yeah. All right. So let's see what we got so far. All right. All right, so this is the whole section for this piece. We're just going straight on the crash switch. We can definitely change. Just straight snare. There's no interesting things happening right now, which I'm not a fan of. So let's first mess with, I think, the snare. I think I'm gonna add some ghost notes. Might be a good idea. So let's check that out. So let's do some here. Make sure the velocity is like way low on this. Snap that kick. It needs to stay. Let's solo the drum so we can kind of hear what these ghost notes are doing. Alright, so we got it here now. Alright. Let's move some of these around here. Just randomly place them where I think they should go. Let's see what they sound like so far. Okay, these are a little too close together, I think. Let's move those. This one fits. Yeah. That one, not so much. Somewhere here, one here. I think that's not too bad. Okay, so that's cool. Let's mess with the symbols a little because they're boring as fuck. Let's see what we can do here. So we got banner at the very beginning. Let's solo our drums and guitar. We'll take out this lead so we can just focus on the main rhythm-y, breakdown-y thingy. So maybe maybe we need to turn symbols up, maybe a little. Let's move this here and there. Let's do maybe a China here, exit that. Go there. Maybe a choke. Maybe accent for the hi-hat. Or maybe we do some tom stuff, maybe. I don't know. Let's try that. Let's do. Maybe we make this first rack a Let's see. I think this last. It's not bad, I guess. Let's keep messing with these symbols here. Let's maybe do some China accents on the snare on some of these. That's interesting. Okay, we're getting somewhere, I think. That's a little low too. A bit. Maybe some splashes here. Don't have to make it too crazy, I guess. I just want it to be a little more interesting. Let's try. that. Maybe something there with the toms too. Floor. Okay, I think let's leave it there because I'm getting bored of it. So let's delete this last one, move this new one over. We can probably add some little extras to the second round of that, but let's just keep it there for now. Turn everything on again. See what we got. Okay. Yeah, not bad, I guess. Let's move on. Maybe should we mess with the intro a little bit? Maybe that might be a good idea. So right now it's there, but a little boring. Use that word a lot in this, so not a great sign. But let's see, what could we do? I think if we started off with something a little more open, especially as far as the guitars, and then that kind of went into more of the breakdowny part right now. Right now they're playing an open note, so I might switch that to palm mute depending on how that transition goes. But let's try that. So what I'm gonna do here is move everything we got so far down just a bit so we can have a little room to work with. Oops. Everything. Sure, let's just fuck it. Let's go there. And then let's make our area to play in. All right. Should we use a similar beat to the breakdown, maybe just simplified? We could. Let's try that, just so we don't get too random here. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so let's run through this again, see what we got. Probably gonna delete some of these little extras that we made just so we have something fresh to work with. And then we can mess around with it after the fact. So we'll just go with rights, or not rights, with the right crash, and we'll tell these toms to fuck off, and think here. What kind of riff idea we can do? Let's create a scratch track for the guitars to ride on. Let's go ahead and duplicate this guy. Whoops, see what plugins we got going on. We don't need that, we don't need that. Make sure we're still working with the same settings and stuff. It's actually, I'm not sure what would change there, so let's just go ahead and actually delete that one. Go on our main guitar tracks here, duplicate that, and then we'll name this guitar scratch just to start off with, and we'll make sure it's pan center so it's hear it correctly. And then let's go ahead and make a MIDI item for it. Alright. So, guitars, we got everything mapped out correctly. Cool. Alright, so let's go back to the drums and see what kind of kick pattern we can think of here. That's our little breakdown type of groove. So let's simplify that a little bit. It's not all of those. Let's go to 16th notes. These. Bad, not bad. Okay, I'm hearing it. I think I'm hearing it. Might work, it might be a little too busy, but fuck it. Let's see what that creates for us. I'm just gonna copy my kick into my guitar MIDI, and we're in F sharp right now. let's make sure we are open, sustained. And we got legato these things. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There we are. Legato. And get this last time. Oink. Okay. Okay, something's off here. Let's try taking these tall mutes to all little notes. See what that gives us. May clear up the rhythm just a bit. Maybe we need to start with the guitar instead of the drum, so let's try that. Hearing something weird with the guitar. I'm not sure if anyone else is hearing that. Let's turn off the fade drive, maybe. Clear it up. Let's listen to the breakdown again, see. We are getting something weird here. Not sure exactly what it is. Might just be some lagging that we're dealing with here. Let's see. Let's see if we can fix this. Well, maybe let's just try restarting Reaper here real quick. All right, let's see. Hopefully that restart may have fixed our issues, so we'll just have to see. All right, cool. Let's make sure our lead is still working okay. Let's see if we can go back to our intro here, so we can figure out anything that sounds and works okay. Let's see. Just want something fucking bouncy. Let's go back to our drums and see if we can just come up with a nice bass kick rhythm. Let's get rid of all these ghost notes. I'll snare stuff. Okay, let's just focus on the kick. Let's see what we can get. Okay. pattern. Might have something to work with here. Kind of cool. Let's just fuck with that. Why not? Let's move to the guitar. Wink, wink. And we'll mess with this. Getting a fucking weird clipping again. No, 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 no. Like that. Let's do. nothing's working. So let's move on to something else. Maybe inspiration will spring from doing something different. So let's see here. Let's move this back here. Let's see. So I got this interesting little lead part that we might be able to utilize too. So let's play around with that idea. Maybe let's do some open notes. Maybe. Let's see what that does for us. Let's go maybe A sharp. Let's delete it real quick. Maybe right crash, left crash, crash, left crash. Let's do a hi-hat pedal just to get some interesting rhythm going down, y'all. And let's go ahead and see what that sounds like in the bass too. Just need to raise up. There. Getting that lag again. So we might do another refresh of Reaper, unfortunately. Let's go see what this sounds like quick. I mean, right now I'm just really fucking around. I'm really just trying to see what happens. We might end up getting something interesting, might not, but we're just playing around. And we might get something cool. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Ugh, getting that stutter. So let me do a refresh of Reaper real quick again. And we'll continue. So, uno momento. Loads. It'd be so dope if someone came into the chat so we could talk to someone, but that's fine. This is my only second time streaming, so I'm not hoping for anything really. But it takes a second since I got so many little plugins going. Okay, let's get back to it. Probably need to do another one just to keep it going right here. Yeah. Do another hits. I think I do want to turn this section up a bit. Where's that stutter again, man? All right, let's do one more restart. If this thing keeps doing this, it might just end stream. You know, there's no point in doing this if it's gonna keep being a turd. But hey, we tried. To see what is causing it. I don't know if it's stream or if it's like a plugin that's doing something funk. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we got anything. Let's just start from here. Interesting, kinda.